Attack on Billy Slater captured on CCTV. What if a single, senseless swing in the dead of night could strip away the armor of a warrior and reveal the fragile heart beneath, reminding us that even immortals bleed? The rain-slicked streets of Manchester gleam under sodium lamps like veins of forgotten rivers, the city a labyrinth of brick and echo during the 2013 Rugby League World Cup. It is past 2 a.m. on a November night, the air heavy with the chill of impending winter and the distant hum of revelry from the Mojo Bar on Bridge Street. Inside, laughter spills out like light, but outside, shadows lengthen, hiding the ordinary dangers that lurk in the spaces between safety and storm. Billy Slater, the Kangaroos, golden fullback, a man whose grace on the field has dodged thunderous tackles and danced through defenses, steps into the night. He is not the invincible Maroons captain here, but a 30-year-old father, far from Brisbane's warmth, chasing a forgotten jumper left behind in the club's camaraderie. His teammates are scattered, the tournament's quarterfinal against the USA looming like a promise. The street is alive with stragglers, but Slater moves with the quiet confidence of one who believes the world bends to will. Please like, share, and subscribe for more Sport Talk content. Fate, however, has other designs. A local man, eyes glazed with drink and frustration at the cue, Slater unwittingly bypassed, erupts from the gloom. The first punch lands without warning, a haymaker to the jaw that drops the champion to the wet pavement. Slater, dazed, rises on instinct, his fists answering in a flurry of survival. The scuffle blurs into chaos, arms flailing, grunts echoing off the walls until sirens wail and blue lights fracture the dark. CCTV cameras, those silent sentinels perched high on the bar's facade, capture it all in grainy black and white. The footage rolls like a nightmare in slow motion, the swing, the crumple, the retaliation that floors the attacker. Police swarm, cuffing both men. Slater arrested on suspicion of affray, the other on the same charge. In the station's sterile hold, the fullback sits, head throbbing, contemplating the thin line between hero and headline. The emotional fracture deepens in the interrogation room's harsh fluorescence. Slater, ever the competitor, recounts the blur to detectives, his voice steady but laced with the tremor of what-ifs. What if the blow had landed differently? What if it ended not with release, but ruin? His wife, Nicole, back in Australia, watches the footage leak online, her heart seizing at the sight of her husband, vulnerable, mortal. She pens a quiet defense on social media. It could have killed him. The words hang, a mother's shield, a partner's plea. As dawn creeps over Manchester's spires, the Kangaroos rally in their hotel, faces drawn not from training, but from the fragility exposed. Coach Tim Sheens pulls Slater aside, his disappointment not in the fight, but in the distraction it steals from their quest. "We're better than this," he murmurs, hand on shoulder, a father's rebuke wrapped in forgiveness. The team nods in silence, the footage replaying on laptops like a cautionary psalm. The turning point arrives not in violence, but in vindication. Police review the tapes, frame by frame, and declare Slater the victim, self-defense etched in pixels. He is released without charge, the right to press charges offered like a hollow trophy. Walking free into the gray morning, Slater pauses on the precinct steps, rain mingling with the sweat of relief. The attacker, a 40-year-old local, remains detained, his frustration a fleeting storm against rugby's enduring gale. The footage spreads like ink and water across the digital ether. By midday, it's on every news site, 9, Fox, the BBC, headlines screaming Slater brawls in Manchester. On X, then Twitter, Billy Slater trends alongside World Cup updates, fans dissecting the clip. Unprovoked, cry the Aussies. He started it, mutter the skeptics. Memes emerge, Slater Photoshop dodging punches like Origin tries. But beneath, a tide of support swells from Brisbane to Bondi. In pubs across Queensland, Maroons diehards gather around screens, fists clenched in shared outrage. "That's our Billy," an old miner says, raising a pint. "Tough as teak." The NRL community, scarred by off-field scandals, breathes easier. Slater escapes sanction, his character the quiet defense. Yet the incident layers onto rugby's lore, a reminder that the World Cup, for all its glory, casts long shadows of human frailty. Historically, it echoes the rough edges of the code. The 1980s brawls in fog-shrouded English fields, the state of origin dust-ups that forged legends. But this is 2013, a modern crucible where cameras never sleep. The CCTV becomes artifact, deepening the narrative, not of scandal, but survival. Slater, the evasive genius who revolutionized fullback play, now embodies the game's unspoken truth. Immortality is illusion, resilience is right. The aftermath ripples into the tournament's rhythm. Australia dispatches the USA in a quarterfinal rout, Slater patrolling the backline with renewed ferocity, each tackle a defiance. But in quiet hotel corridors, teammates share glances, the footage a bond forged in vulnerability. Fans flood Slater's mentions with prayers and drawings. Kids in Kangaroos jerseys, fists raised, not in anger, but affirmation. This moment, captured in cold clarity, pierces the veil of sports spectacle. It whispers of the nights when heroes are just husbands, when the roar of crowds fades to the pulse of one fragile life. In the grainy frames, we glimpse not rage, but reflex, the body's ancient code to protect, to persist. It speaks to sportsmanship's shadow side, the respect earned not on turf, but in trials off it. Slater's restraint and retaliation, his grace and release, mirrors the values rugby preaches: fair play, not fury. Yet it indicts us all, the bystanders who film instead of intervene, the fans who judge before facts. Here, character is not accolades, but choices in the chaos. We reflect on heritage's double edge, the pride of a warrior's return, tempered by the peril of his path. Slater, son of Queensland's cane fields, carried the weight of a nation's hopes. This night stripped it bare, revealing the boy beneath the badge. In vulnerability, true legacy blooms, not in unbroken records, but in unbroken spirit. Humanity at its core is this: the capacity to fall and rise, to bleed and bind wounds. Sport amplifies it, turning private pains into public parables. The CCTV, once a tool of judgment, becomes testament to tenacity, a reminder that every champion harbors ghosts, and every ghost yields to grit. In the broader tapestry, it challenges values long cherished in the league: mateship over malice, humility in heat. Slater's story urges us to honor not the flawless facade, but the flawed fight, the quiet courage that follows the flash. Legacy, then, is not etched in silverware alone, but in scars that teach. This incident did not define Slater. It refined him, a forge for the coach he would become, guiding Maroons through origin fires with empathy born of embers. Later, in a Brisbane cafe far from Manchester's reign, Slater sips coffee with Nicole, the footage a distant echo. It was a wake-up call, he says softly, eyes on his children playing nearby. Not just for me, but for the boys. Reminded us why we play, for the love, not the lights. Could have ended everything, but it sharpened what matters. His wife, voice steady with the steel of survival, adds, "Seeing it on that screen, it broke me, but it built us stronger. Billy's not invincible, and that's his power. He fights for family first."